Crimson Desert is a very complicated game. There are a large amount of different systems in the game that you can take advantage of when you're playing it, and if you don't understand them, it can be kind of overwhelming in the beginning. So I just wanted to make a quick video that shows some of the basics that would help me if I was starting. They don't really outline a lot of this stuff because I think that they want you to kind of figure it out for yourself, and a lot of that is the fun of the game. And once you figure out some of the things that they kind of keep hidden from you in the beginning, it makes it easier to figure out the stuff that's hidden in the game later, if that makes sense. They kind of build on how difficult it is to figure things out, and it's really nice because you're not just pelted with tutorials. You kind of just imagine, maybe I can do this, and then you give it a shot, and sometimes it works and sometimes you have to do it a certain way. It's pretty cool, but some of this stuff is necessary in the beginning, and if you don't catch on right away, it can make some aspects of the game take a lot longer, and that it kind of fatigues people as the player a lot of the time. I think I didn't get fatigued because it was all fun for me, but I did get stressed out trying to figure things out without using tutorials or other YouTube channels to try and figure out how to do stuff. And I think it'll be really beneficial to just show a few things. So here, we'll just start with this. You have to cut wood for different materials and different things in the game. So you have to equip your logging axe specifically, and then you aim, and then you chop it down. It will fall. It can damage you if you're underneath it and it falls. See? Just like that. So then you're going to come up to it, and there's another way that you can hit it. If you pay attention in the bottom right, it says slash or slam. You're going to want to slam, and then it will bust it into these separate chunks. And then you're going to individually slam each of these chunks, and the basic version will give you one of each. The basic version of the axe, I should say. So, I'm just going to collect these up real quick. And this is a material that you're going to need a lot. You don't have to necessarily farm it, but I would occasionally go and chop a tree down. Every once in a while you see a cool looking tree, why not? Go check it out if there's nothing interesting under that tree, because there might always be some kind of secret. You never know, especially if it looks interesting in this game. I would always go and check things out. But I wouldn't just run around and farm trees for like an hour. I have tried that. It's not that it's not fun. The animations are great, and the game is very high quality, and they're just making it better and better over time, but I do think it can tend to burn you out a bit. Okay, now we're going to do some fishing. You're going to want to equip it in your inventory menu, or the quick menu, sorry. And you're going to just sit here and wait. And if you read up in the top left, it says hold L2 and move L, or turn R clockwise to adjust the bait's position, so you can move where it is. And currently we're waiting for a fish. So you can actually see in the water when a fish comes up to it. See, there's one there. R2. And then you pull back, and then you set the hook, and you just fight the fish. You don't reel while you're fighting the fish. You just fight against it. See, he stopped. Now you can reel with R. And that's how you catch a fish. You don't reel while you're fighting them. You only reel once they've stopped. And then you can catch or release it if you want. And then it sits in your inventory. And traversal in this game is very interesting because when you climb, it consumes stamina. So, let me show you on this wall over here. See how I'm running and my stamina bar is going down? There you go. So then you're going to hop up and grab it, and then with each handhold, it's going to consume stamina. And if you don't have enough stamina, you will fall off. As you gain more stamina, you can climb higher, and you gain access to other abilities, but those will be explained to you better. So now we're at camp. This is a little ways into the story, but it's not too far. It's pretty in the beginning of the storyline that you end up making it here. This is Howling Hill is what it's called.
What's on your mind?
So you're gonna walk up to the bonfire, and this is how you cook. That guy will get out of my way. Okay, so there's a vast amount of ingredients available to you in the world. You will find them in crates and barrels. You'll find them just lying around on tables, at camps. Large amount of places you can find them and acquire them. You can also purchase them from vendors, and we'll go over that a little bit later once we hit vendors. But if you are looking to cook, you have to find the recipe first. None of these will be available to you except for, I believe, just grilled meat in the beginning. It's part of the story, I think, when they introduce cooking to you. Now, you can purchase recipes, or you can find them in the world. And once you find them, you have to learn them, and you can do that by reading them. You will have to look down with your camera while you're reading them in order to learn them, and it will show you in the top left once you have learned it. So you just click the recipe that you want, and then you make it once you have it. It's pretty simple, but you need to have the ingredients that are there, or that can be substituted for other ingredients that are the main one. Great way for health in the game. In the beginning, you're gonna always want to keep food around with you. That's gonna really keep you alive, especially if you play the game on a more difficult mode. Okay, moving on to vendors. When you have a vendor, there will be several types that you can find. You're going to want to talk to them.
A good
say
blade
hello.
reflects its master.
That will give you
Looking at yours
trust
makes
points.
perfect sense.
This vendor is maxed out with me. As you can see in the bottom right, it says 100. That's the trust meter. Every time you say hello, it'll give you +5. And there are ways that you can make this go faster, but I'm not going to ruin that for you in this video. So you're going to want to shop.
Masterpieces are all I craft.
And then you can purchase or sell items of varying kinds, all kinds of stuff. And you can go to different vendors for different items, depending on what you're looking for.
If you need gear,
You can sell random items in the game, and you can purchase random items and then resell them later if you need to, or however you would like to do it. Whatever you need. And this is a smith. So this is similar to a vendor, but this only has one function. You can't buy or sell anything from him. All he does is item improvement or crafting or extraction. So refinement is how you're going to refine your items, and you're going to need ores, wood, bones, fangs, and other various items that you'll find throughout the game.
Want something custom made?
And
you just tell me what you need.
That's going to be something that's very important.
Come
Why you
see
want to
me if you need something repaired.
This guy will stop talking. If you want to be leveling up your equipment in a way that's easy and doesn't make you feel like you're going for a horrible grind, you're going to want to do what I said with the trees, with everything. When you go and mine for ore or collect wood or anything like that, you're just going to want to hang on to the pieces that you have. You do not want to be burning through them and using them for stupid things and items that you don't want. You can remove the items that you've put into an item when you've upgraded it. So when you've refined an item, you can actually pull those items back out again. But if you're not going to use that item, I wouldn't just be upgrading it for no reason. I would try and find a way to. So when you're mining in this game, it works the same as wood cutting, but you need a pickaxe. There are items in the game that you can get that are upgraded versions of things like the axe or the pickaxe. So when you go up to this, it's going to be the same thing, and you're just going to aim at the ore. If I don't die here. Some of these are pretty precariously placed, so be careful when you're trying to get at them. But you're going to go up to it with your pickaxe. I know this is an axe, but I don't want to ruin for you what the actual item I have is. I don't have a pickaxe anymore. But you're just going to aim at it, and then you're just going to swing at it, just like normal, with R1. And it'll just blow it up for you, and then you'll go around and you'll collect up all of the ores that it drops. And you can refine items like your logging axe and your pickaxe. It gives you more items, and it changes the stats of it, so it helps you out a lot. Now, when you're going to be looking around the map trying to fast travel places, you're going to fast travel with Abyss Nexuses. That's going to be how you get everywhere. You can teleport immediately to them whenever you want from the map. And if you have made it to the sky map yet, you're going to enter the Abyss. You're going to enter that by pressing R3. They added a little note in the bottom right, but if you didn't know already and hadn't seen it, it took me a while to find it. Once they added it, it made it a lot easier, but that's how you switch back and forth from the two. Okay, for those of you who are looking to play this game without any spoilers whatsoever, I would probably skip past this part. I'm just going to briefly go over some things about how the missions work for your camp. It's not too much of a spoiler, but if you wanted this all to be unique and new for you, then I wouldn't watch this part. So, we're going to go ahead and manage our comrades
Got a
here.
job?
And you have manage comrades, and you can swap out, or look at, who you have and what their stats are, and all of the gray mains that you've collected so far.
Got a job?
You can go to the mission dispatch and select missions based off of the items or materials that your camp is lacking that you currently need. So, if you wanted to do a mission where you are building, you would gain experience points for building this. That's the reward. The total reward is right here in yellow. That's what you get for completing the mission. And the cost, required currency here. This is all of the materials that it requires to complete this mission. And the time it takes is here. How many members you need will also be listed. So this is how many gray mains you will have to dispatch on this mission for this period of time, costing you this much money in order to yield this much experience or the reward. It works the same with other types of missions. This grain symbol here, this is typically for farming. So when you do this, you will get 1,000 food as the total reward. Your total food is listed here. And this is the required currency. And the task time, again, and how many members. So, when you are doing your missions, it is very important in the very beginning that you do not do one type of mission only. You have to do a variety of the missions in order to be obtaining each resource that you need, because some of these other missions down here will cost something. They'll cost something for you that you have to pay, and if your camp does not have those resources or funds, then you cannot do it. If you do not have the skill required also from the people in your camp, okay, simple ranching. So you have to have a gray main that has this symbol available to dispatch, and you only need one in order to dispatch them to that mission. So, this mission here, estate security. I used Sylvan. He is security. He's the same symbol here. And if he knows what's required for the type of mission, you send one Greymane that knows, you can send other Greymanes that don't know to fulfill the requirements for the total number of Greymanes needed for the mission. So like this one needs 2 to 9. So I could use, or this one here, yeah, 2 to 9. So if I use a Greymane that has this symbol here, I can fill the rest of the 2 to 9 with Greymanes that do not have that symbol. But I believe you get bonuses if you use more than one. I'm not entirely sure on that part though, but that'll be for you to figure out. That's a little bit more complicated. We'll just stick with the basics here. But it's very important that in the beginning you have a variety, so you're obtaining multiple resources. And you can kind of do the math out, and if you just do the basic missions, then you should come out positive. But if you notice that one of your resources is dwindling, I would add or change the mission type that's giving you a reward for that, or add more Greymanes so you get a higher percentage. So you'll get a comrade bonus here. You get that if you add the total number that you need. So 2 is the minimum, you'll have a 0 bonus. If you go to 3, you will start getting a bonus. I believe it's 20%. And then if you add another one and you max it out to 4, you get 40% comrade bonus. And that changes the total reward. So that'll give you more and that'll help you out. I recommend doing that if you have them to spare. If you don't, it's okay. You can just do the minimums, and then once you go through your missions, you will be able to find them.
Talk to me whenever you need to.
Now, when you're going through your missions, if you happen to get stuck, this is a bit of a spoiler here. If you happen to get stuck on a mission, like this one for example, I got stuck on it, Bryce's request. So I had to dispatch to craft a wagon, right? So, first reaction is to go over to dispatch and attempt to find the mission. In the mission dispatch. Only problem was I could not find the mission. There was a reason for that. So,
Remember, there's no mission
some
in this world,
missions,
Wilson.
not many, but some missions, you will have to go into your map, and then you will have to find whatever place it is that you are going to do your mission at. Wherever the map marker is taking you, when you have that mission selected as your current objective, you will show up there and there will be nothing that you can do. You won't be able to figure out why the objective point led you there, and there will be no one you can talk to or anything like that. You will have to go into the map like this and select the place that the map marker is at, and you're going to have to go to details. When you go to the details menu for a place like this specific spot, this is Meadowlark Ranch, it will give you a stronghold summary, faction summary, and missions. If you are having trouble finding the mission at the dispatch, look at the location in your map and check the missions under the details menu. You will probably find it there. That's what happened with Bryce's request for me, and with another one for Karen Corey, I believe it was. So, that had me stuck for a very long time, and it will ruin your mission progression as far as the rest of the story, and it kind of makes going after bosses and other enemies more difficult than it needs to be. So that's just a little bit of a small add in there. Another good thing to know is your inventory. These purple, some of these are little pockets where you can actually have multiple items stored, like this, see? So these are not available in my inventory. If I go and look for them inside the regular inventory, I cannot read them. I will not find them anywhere. So, some of them you have to select and go in this purple menu here to find whichever one you're looking for. And until you see the full knowledge required, you have not read the book completely. You will have a way to obtain all of this from each book. You will not need a second book to complete it. If you are having trouble, you may need to look around with your camera within the book when you have it open and are switching from page to page. This one has 7, so there are 7 pages, or maybe 4 pages that you need to flip through. And each page on each side may contain knowledge that you need, so just make sure you're looking at both sides of each book. That's another thing that had me stuck for a little bit. We're going to talk about combat. So, sword and shield. Strong attacks and light attacks. You can hold down the button for each of them, and it will play different animations. And then, as you upgrade, you will also be given other types of attacks you can use. I will probably make a video later on that. But in the beginning, you will just have your light attacks and your strong attacks. You can also do a little roll. So you're going to use L1 if you're on controller to lock onto enemies. And you do not want to be locked onto your enemies all the time. You can directionally aim and do a very good job at individually hacking at enemies that are around you. If you hold the lock-on button, you will also be holding the block button. It is the same button. So, it will also give you different attacks that you can do while you have the block button held down. See? That was just light attack and strong attack, same thing, but when you have the block button, it does different things. I will come out with a video that explains how the combos work in this, probably at some point in the future, but for right now, in the beginning, all you need to know is that you have light attacks and strong attacks, and to get the general lock on. That's something that you should practice for sure. I took about 30 or 40 hours, and I practiced on Fort Perwin. I have a lot of videos on that. It was a really good time. It was one of the best camps I've ever played in a game. And I just practiced the combat, because it is much more complicated than it looks, and it takes a very long time to really take advantage of it. And as you get on in the game, the enemies become stronger, and the enemies that you're fighting in the beginning allow you to see how the combat works much better than the enemies that are later in the game, in my opinion. You can still see little glimmers of it, but a lot of the enemies have special abilities and powers, and if you've seen any other shorts of this game, they're usually very flashy, and I have all of my visual effects cranked way down so that I don't have a lot of flashing and visual stuff going on in the middle of my combat, and I still can hardly see anything that's going on at the midpoint in the game. So, take advantage of the moments when you're...
Fine day, is it not?
Oh yeah, it is a fine day, yeah. Keep on moving on. Yeah, go on with your crate. But, yeah, so... It's very important that you get a grip on the early combat, because if you don't, then the later combat will be even harder, and you will just be button mashing the entire time, and I promise you, this is not a game that you want to be button mashing through if you want it to look good. You can button mash through on easy mode, that's no problem, but if you're going to play this game on hard, you will absolutely need to make sure that the buttons you are pushing are what you intended to happen. And it's great because the developers have come out with several patches, and the combat seems to be even more responsive and correct than it used to be. Sometimes button inputs wouldn't get put in correctly when you click them fast enough or something. I'm not sure exactly what was happening. I don't know a lot about that, but it didn't seem like it was responding properly. But now, after all these patches have come out, the combat is much more fluid. And I mean, in the beginning it was great. I'm not saying it wasn't good in the beginning. I loved it in the beginning, but they've made it even better than it was. So take advantage of it and enjoy it. This is a game that's very long, and I would really recommend that you take your sweet time with it. Hunting is another good, important aspect of this game that you have to get a grip on. You can do it in a lot of different ways, but you can do it the way that you're expecting with a bow. Once you have a knife in your inventory, you can skin them. Then you will obtain some of the resources you need to upgrade weapons and other things in the game, like armors, shields, and a few other things as well. Very important. I would, as you play the game, just like with the ore and the wood and fishing and anything else in this game that you're collecting resources, I would really recommend that as you're playing it, you just casually find. Look, I just discovered one right here that I hadn't even found. This is a spot that I've been in for most of my playthrough here. So you just find one as you're wandering, enjoying the game and the scenery. You collect up the ore or whatever it is that you found, and then you go on your way. You don't have to make a thing of it and collect ore for like an hour and a half. I promise you there is enough to go around. You will continue to find it on my map. This is a bit of a spoiler. Sorry guys, if you don't want to see what the map looks like, I recommend that you probably cut off now. But all of these items here, things like this, these are ores that I found. They're everywhere. You will find them, and I missed so many. I mean, I just found one right in front of you right now, and I will recommend that you collect everything. Bugs, collect all the bugs that you can, every single one of them, all of them. Collect every single. That's funny. You can't collect these. You can, some of them you can't collect, but all the flowers, all the plants, everything that you find, at least collect some of them. You don't need to sit here for 5 minutes and run through this whole patch and collect all of it unless you really want to. It's not going to hurt you to do that, but if you don't want to feel like this is a resource harvesting game, then you don't have to make it feel like that. You can definitely play this game and just run around and collect what you want, and then you'll come upon more later and you can just collect a little bit again. You don't have to make a big old thing out of it. It's very nice, and it actually, because they littered the game with so much. Look, here's another one I haven't discovered. See? Because they littered the game with so much of it, it's easy to collect it. And you don't have to be running around and searching for it. And if you see one that you like and you don't even want to collect it, see another one. And you don't want to collect it, don't collect it. Just find it, make sure that you discover it on your map by walking up close enough to it. It'll show you in the top left if you have, and then it'll show up on your mini-map. And then you'll have it, and you can always just go into your menu and then look for whatever you need. And a lot of things in this game are like that too. So I hope that helped. This is a very complicated game. It's a very, very fun game. I would take your time with it and just enjoy it, honestly. There's no rush. You don't have to beat it right away. Only like, 2% of people, I think, on Steam have beaten this game even. I haven't beaten it, and I've put over 100 hours in, and I'm hardly halfway through, and I've loved every second. So I hope you guys enjoy the game, and thanks for watching the video.